Of the shocking announcements made by Emerson Mnangagwa today revealed how opposition has been infiltrated, and I'm speaking about the opposition that was led by Nelson Chamisa, and also the skill of infiltration, especially by the Emerson Mnangagwa faction, or rather, let me say, ZANU-PF faction. That is why you've got individuals such as Sengezo Chabangu having been worked as CCC members. And also today, the announcement that stands out that a lot of people are highly discussing on social media is the appointment of Brilliant Dube. She was part of the Citizens Coalition for Change. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. At one time, when they were questioning Brilliant Dube, this is what Gift Ostalo Siziba on 9 August 2022 wrote in defense of Brilliant Dube, who has now been appointed by Emerson Mnangagwa as one of the 10 appointed senators. This is what Gift Ostalo Siziba said then. He said, Brilliant Dube is one of the bureaucrats serving in the presidency, and he was referring to the presidency of Nelson Chamisa. As the director of protocol, she has demonstrated amazing work capabilities in ensuring his principal, our president, operates swiftly. Just imagine, she was the director of protocol under Nelson Chamisa, working with Nelson Chamisa in the highest office. And now she is being appointed by Emerson Mnangagwa as a senator. What a coincidence. What it simply means is that opposition was infiltrated from the top position. Close allies of Nelson Chamisa were directly working with the enemy, with ZANU-PF. And he says, we salute here and celebrate such dedication, precision, dexterity, and clarity of thought. Happy birthday, Brilliant. She was called Bina. By then, we are referring to Brilliant Dube. It appears she was an agent planted within the Citizens Coalition for Change. And this calls for really thorough actually verification of members of the Citizens Coalition of Change, and also for the opposition to invest in intelligence, or anyone who actually, ZANU-PF is not a democratic party. ZANU-PF is a mafia political party. And Gift Ostalo Siziba responding following this, because this is circulating over social media, it's a topical issue. He says infiltration is a serious challenge faced by movements and institutions across the world, and is an unavoidable reality in securocratic states. Intelligence and security sector officers infiltrate opposition movements world over, and it is their job. All movements do the same. Infiltration cannot always be prevented, but strong movements must develop systems to identify, vet, and counter it, while ensuring that information is properly verified before decisions are made. Going forward, any serious movement seeking to defeat the regime in Harare and building a democratic Zimbabwe will have to invest in intelligence, counterintelligence, institutional security, and robust information verification systems. This is not about paranoia. It is about building resilient institutions capable of protecting themselves from manipulation and infiltration. Whatever has happened should therefore serve as a valuable lesson to all of us who genuinely remained committed to building a Zimbabwe free from ZANU-PF misrule. We must learn, strengthen our institutions, and become wiser in how we organize I think in how we organize, that's how we ended it. Gift Ostelos Siziba acknowledging that it was a mistake. They will plant someone, and that I have noticed having, I think, the experience of being in the opposition political party, specifically Mtwaga's political party, helped me to understand the political dynamics of Zimbabwe. These people, the government, plant very, very smart people within your movement, and they will make sure that these people will appear, they will be working very hard, they will be providing sometimes resources, they would be sometimes actually, I saw it. Luckily, some of us were very sensitive. It was easy to identify them. There are many organizations in Zimbabwe that are opposing ZANU-PF, but within their top leadership, they have planted CIOs, and ZANU-PF is heavily invested in CIOs, secret services of Zimbabwe. I've said it, CIOs, they are part of the lecturers. In fact, to be a lecturer in Zimbabwe, most of those lecturers who are teaching your students, most of them are CIOs. They are ZANU-PF agents, lecturers at universities. Most of the, I'm not saying all, but most of the teachers as well as headmasters, most of all these government institutions, they make sure they plant heavily. Most of the journalists, for example, if you are launching a new political party and you go and invite chronically, you invite all these state ZBC, they won't send journalists, they would send secret services, members of the Central Intelligence Organization, to pretend to be journalists, and they will be writing. They are the first ones to come. They will be asking a lot of questions like journalists, and you will be speaking, thinking you are responding to journalists, not necessarily, but some of them, they are not professional. You can tell that they are people who have infiltrated the organization. But they have some who are professional, especially these who joins political parties. They make sure they become serious, they become dedicated, they become part of all the processes of the party. The idea is to be part of the top leadership. Everything that is planned, they are listening and they are sending information directly to the enemy. So all plans, if you want to protest, if you want to organize anything secretly, you cannot, because I remember at one point we were in a meeting, and that meeting was publicized by Sunday Mail. The exact, of course, the person did not capture the names correctly, but the exact details of the meetings were actually published on, it was Sunday Mail. Yeah, it was Sunday Mail of the meeting. Of course, they got wrong the names sometimes in terms of spellings, but you could tell, oh, this one, they were referring to this. Yes, we discussed about this in our meeting. So opposition has been highly infiltrated. Just imagine if they can plant someone. In fact, there are many people surrounding Nelson Chamisa, even now, that are working for ZANU-PF. So opposition should heavily invest in terms of the people they are actually working with, and in terms of vetting, to ensure that their information does not leak. And they cannot plant one person. People are talking of Brilliant Dube today. It's not only Brilliant Dube. There are many Brilliant Dube operatives, some of them that are still within the opposition at the moment. They will pretend. If you want to see how the intelligence of ZANU-PF work, look at even Chiwenga. Now, when they saw there is now Blessed Geza who is out challenging Emerson Mnangagwa, they heavily deployed agents, the likes of Traore, the likes of, there were many, these guys, they were heavily they actually planted, they began to form groups, they appeared genuine. They began to call what Blessed Geza was doing the revolution, recording messages on a daily basis so that they can be trusted. And these people, they will actually approach genuine supporters of Blessed Geza and they will be asking questions. Sometimes if you are not careful, you end up trusting them. You end up releasing very important information that they are looking for. So it does not, to me, really come as a surprise, especially this brilliant Dube appointment. There are many, in fact, who have been surprised. A lot of people were surprised even by the former, in fact, two former intelligence CIO directors were appointed. The other one was a lecturer at NAST. People were shocked to learn that that lecturer at NAST was also have been part of the CIOs, because you cannot be just appointed to be a director of the central, to lead the Central Intelligence Organization if you have not been an operative. You start from the lower rank and you're upgraded up to the top post. So they cannot actually all of a sudden parachute you to be to be a director there. You would so people were shocked. Oh, so this National University of Science and Technology lecturer, there are many. In fact, myself having been to university, I could tell that many of these lecturers were part. And even, by the way, to be given a job there, you can't just be given a job without either ZANU-PF connections or without being an operative. Most of because they are targeting to control these institutions. So definitely an opposition has to be infiltrated. They infiltrate it if it's not careful, and they don't infiltrate the opposition with dumb people. They make sure they put their best. That person would be hands-on. That's why Gift Ostalos Sizima is quoted praising her, because to him, she appeared very, very genuine. You know how dangerous it is. If this woman, I'm sure even Nelson Chamisa trusted her with the food. Maybe if she brought the food, definitely was going to eat without hesitation, and it would be poison would be put on that food. Just imagine how many opposition political figures trusted her. But today we get to learn that she was an operative. It's quite, yes, of course, what Gifto Stalo is saying, that all movements around the world, they are infiltrated. We know. But now, infiltration doesn't have to be as powerful as this case study, because now it proves powerful infiltration. Well, because we are dealing with Mnangagwa, if it was another president, he was not going to even appoint her to be a senator. She was going to remain under payroll, still digging in terms of infiltration, making sure that she is in there and she passes the intelligence to ZANU-PF. But Mnangagwa has been exposing, at least opening the eyes of the people of Zimbabwe on deep-rooted intelligence, dirty works that are done by the regime. So if you need, we are dealing with a terrorist organization. We are dealing with a very, very evil institution, which decides to plant the best of its best. They have the resources, by the way. They steal the state coffers. They control the money, so they are able to plant. And even on social media, I've seen they are busy now trying to create their own bloggers. so that they try and control the narrative. People have to be extra careful. But do we have to be afraid of the regime? No. We have to fight. We have to mount up also our challenge to the very same regime and make sure that it is ousted. It's a matter of death and life. Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa has to go. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members or the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okay, signing out. Let me love and live.